name's Michelle Koziak. I work here at ACU as a midwifery lecturer, and I'm also involved with the Away From Base Indigenous Bachelor of Midwifery program. My Indigenous background and my ties to country are very broad. My family comes from country New South Wales. I'm a Wiradjuri woman, and my family mob are Conleys, so we're spread out right across New South Wales. The Away From Base Bachelor of Midwifery program is a program that was set up by ACU, and it's the only one in the country that's running. So what happens is the students come from all over Australia. They come down to residential on campus 4 times a year, at the beginning and the end of semester. And we do all their subjects, do all their practical work, and in the meantime they study online. The flexible opportunities that this course offers is that particularly for Indigenous health workers that have been in the health field for some time and then realise that they need to do something different to try and make a difference to health outcomes, is that they can study in their own time, they can study in community, they are able to do it whenever they want to, and it's really portable. We actually had one student in the Territory that used to go out in her paddock with her laptop and do her class out there with me because there wasn't enough internet in her house, so that was really cool. So we have students from a really big variety of communities, and it's really hard sometimes to get them all engaged, and part of our online program is that we have Adobe Connect rooms where I go in there and we do a lesson and they come in and talk and chat, and it's really quite interactive. It's very good. And the other thing is that I'm probably known as the nagger, the professional nagger, so I'm always on their case. When's your assignment due? What's it going to be about? How are you going to do it? Make sure you put in an extension. Don't be ashamed to ask for an extension. It's really important. What impresses me about the students that take on the Away From Base program is that they're willing to come and make a difference to their lives and a difference to community lives. They come here and they're often worried that they might not succeed, or they might be worried that they're at university, that perhaps they're not good enough to be at university, but they certainly are, and hopefully through our program and the work that I do, I'll support them to do that. I've been able to take on further studies at ACU by enrolling in the Graduate Certificate of Higher Education. We're covering things like teaching styles, how the curriculum works, the things that encourage students to learn, which is particularly good for me for IT, because my Away From Base program, we're actually trying to encourage students to be involved online and contact with us, which is really good. One of the ways that the Away From Base program will help with health outcomes is that we will increase Indigenous midwife numbers. There's 209 Indigenous midwives across Australia. 9 of them originally were in Queensland, but I can gratefully say that we now have another 9, so we're up to 218, which is really good. And so the women that are becoming midwives, some of them have got grad positions in a bigger hospital, and then they've gone back to their own community. It's important for Indigenous women to have access to culturally appropriate programs or staff so that they actually engage. And some women who have had long family history and because of previous history in colonisation don't access healthcare, and so their outcomes for their children and for themselves are very poor. So in the future I look forward to seeing more midwives on the ground, more midwives looking after Indigenous women and improving the health outcomes for mothers and babies, and I think ACU is well on their way to do that. We're very successful at our program. I think as far as if we're thinking about the student journey, how the student's journey is different from when I was training as a midwife, I certainly didn't tell anyone that I was Indigenous, that was a taboo really, and that was probably the best thing to do at the time. But what's important and what I really think is valuable here at ACU is that we promote Indigeneity, and we say, you know, if you're Indigenous, be proud of it. And I'm really pleased that Indigenous students, nurses, midwives, physios, whoever they might be on campus, are going out there going, I'm an Indigenous person, I'm strong, and I can do the same as everybody else. The more Indigenous people we have, the deadlier we are.